Hi my friends! Welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video is very special. So you see it's how to learn English, and you also see 50 questions of English learners with answers. So I really hope it's a great video and you'll support it with your likes, shares and comments. Okay, thanks a lot. And my friends, really, I prefer to make not just simple videos, but great ones. Very good ones, okay? So very good videos. I really hope it's a great video and it can help you a lot. My friends, thank you very much for likes, shares and support. These are 50 most common English questions with answers about learning English. Yeah, very good, very good. Okay, excellent. And so the first one, okay, and so please have a look at all these questions. So if you don't find a question you are interested in, please write about it in the comments below. So how long will it take me to learn English? Well, if you are an absolute beginner means that if you don't know anything about English, if you know nothing about English, it can take you 2 or 3 years, really. If you learn English effectively, it means if you know how to learn it. Otherwise, so it's otherwise. So if you don't do it otherwise, it can take you ages. It can take you ages. It's a phrase. It can take you a very, very long time. Yeah, it can take you a very, very long time. Okay. So really, students often ask me, so how long will it take me to learn English? Okay, 2-3 years if you learn it effectively. Okay, so next. So what level can I have after half a year if I'm a beginner now? So I believe you can have a strong intermediate level, so middle level, okay? I know lots of students who did it, and I'm so happy about these results. I know they studied English really hard and they got a result they wanted and expected. So they thought that they would have this result. Okay, so really, if you want to have an intermediate level, strong intermediate level, so you can do it in half a year. Okay, next, if I really want to have a good result, do I really need to pay money for it? Not necessarily. Not necessarily means that you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it, or you don't have to do it. So why? Why should you do it? Really, you can learn English without paying any money. So we say without paying any money at all. Yeah. So you don't need to pay any money at all. So, and if you have a good teacher, it's an advantage. So it's an advantage, or it's a plus, it's a good thing. But don't think you can't learn English without paying big money, okay? So please don't think that if you don't have money, so you can't learn English. No, you can learn English. So you can learn English, okay? You can do it for free. Well, so 4. How can I improve English by myself? So by myself, it means that you don't have a teacher or you don't attend English courses, okay? So try to improve all your skills. Improve means try to make them better. So grammar, listening, speaking, reading and writing. Have a plan. It's a very important thing. Have a plan for each day. Have a plan for each day, okay? So it's, when you know what you have to do today, it's when you know what you have to do tomorrow, and so you have a plan, so important. Have a system, yes, and study regularly every day. Listen as much as you can, please listen. It's so important to listen, it's very, very important. Okay, next. How can I improve my speaking skills? It's just a matter of practice. It's just a matter of practice means it's the most important thing. So practice. So please practice speaking. Practice speaking English is the most important thing. So if you practice, so you'll have good progress if you have lots of practice. If you don't start practicing English daily, you'll be improving them very slowly. I mean, you'll be improving these skills very slowly. So you need daily English practice, okay? Also listen more. It's also a very important thing. So only reading and doing grammar exercises won't help, so that many students only read and they can read, so they know some grammar, but they can't speak. So why can't they speak? Because they don't have this English speaking practice and they don't listen enough to English speech. Okay, 6. How can I improve my listening skills? Yeah, it's a very important question. So you might think that you just need to listen more, but it isn't enough. Yeah, so that teachers often say, okay, listen more. No, it isn't true. You need to do other things, and you need to listen and see the text at the same time, so that you can catch every word, so that you can understand every word, every phrase, every structure. So it's a very important thing. So listen and see the text at the same time. So only listening isn't enough, okay? And listen more while doing other things, yeah? So we talked about it. So when you go somewhere, so when you walk in the street, so just listen and listen. So listen all the time. So as much as you can. So important, really, it's so important, okay? So next, how can I improve my grammar? Really, how can I improve my grammar? Make sure, it means that be sure, you need to be sure, so that you know all the basic grammar, so all the most important grammar for beginners and elementary students, basic grammar. Many students make mistakes because they didn't learn it thoroughly. Thoroughly means very hard, okay? So they go to the next and next level, then go to the next and next level step by step. So you need to do it, yeah? And don't forget to do exercises, yeah? So you need to learn, first of all, the basic grammar, so different topics, yeah, different units of basic grammar, not just English tenses, yeah, not just it. So there are lots of things, yeah, and study it very hard, very thoroughly. Then go to the next and next level step by step, yeah, and don't forget to do exercises. It's very important. Okay, so how can I improve my writing skills? When you write, it's about grammar and spelling. Spelling, it means that, so how we write some words. You also need to widen your vocabulary, so you need to make it larger, you need to make it wider. Do more exercises, write more and more. So you need to do exercises, more and more writing exercises. It's a memory of your hand. It's a memory of your hand when you write, and it's good. You can write about something on a regular basis, yeah? On a regular basis means regularly. It means that you have some ideas, so in your language, and you write about it in English. So maybe you have, a notebook and you write there. So it's so interesting and important, just for more practice. 9. How can I improve my pronunciation? Listening to native speakers isn't enough. You need to repeat after them. Please repeat after them. So stop and repeat. Stop and repeat. For example, you can do it 1 hour a day. If you don't have time, do it for 20 minutes, for instance, but listen more too. So repeat and listen. Repeat and listen, but it's very important to repeat. Next, how to speak English more fluently. Don't be afraid of making a mistake, so don't have this fear. Speak more. Use simple phrases. Yes, very important to use simple phrases to speak faster. If you want to speak faster, you need to use simple words, simple phrases. Try to think in English during the day. Yeah, try to think in English during the day. How to think in English? You can start thinking in English. We say start doing for 5 minutes a day. Yeah, so do it several times a day. Then you can think for a longer period of time, for example 7 minutes, 10 minutes a day, and it should be your habit. It should be a habit. You should do it regularly, every day, every day. So it's very important. The skill is very important. Do I need to speak English only with native speakers? No, that's not true. It's often difficult to find them and speak for a long time and every day. If your level is lower than upper intermediate, you can find people from any country for more speaking practice. If not, you need to speak mostly to native speakers, okay? So it's a good idea, yeah, to speak only to native speakers. So if your level is upper intermediate and or higher, so if your level is lower, so it's okay, you can find a speaking partner from another country. So how to learn English words? Learn them in context, with examples. Read more and listen. It must be a memory of your eyes, yeah, so when you see, of your ears, so when you hear, and with your hand, when you write, So how to learn English speaking easily? Relax. It means don't worry. You don't do it for a school or a teacher. No one is interested in your mistakes. So your mistakes aren't interesting for other people. It's just the idea in your mind. You speak for communication. Just speak. If you are a little bit worried about your mistakes, work on your grammar. Yeah. Do lots of simple exercises. Yeah, start with simple exercises. How to learn English effectively? There should be two things which when you understand it. So, I mean, when you understand it, that you learn English effectively. You need to feel progress soon. Yeah, the first thing. And you also need to enjoy learning English. So we say enjoy doing. You really need to like, yeah, learning English because you feel this progress. If it doesn't happen, you need to change something, yeah, you need to change something. So there is a problem. Find a clear goal or a clear aim and motivation why you need it, why you need it, yes, why you need it. So you really need to understand why you need it. So please have motivation, please have an aim or a goal. And the next very important thing is that you need to learn at least 2 hours a day for good progress. How can I find a good English teacher? If you really want to do it, look at his or her students' results. It's the only criteria. Okay? So only this thing can show this teacher's professionalism, yeah? So often just students ask me, so do you know a good English teacher? Yeah, you need to ask, students. You need to ask students first, yes, and actually to ask them about their results, yeah? So if they have a good result, good results, this teacher is great. Yeah, and only this way, not only recommendation, no, not only advertising, no. You need to look at his or her students' results and progress, only this way, okay? So next, how to learn English in 1 month. Okay, are you really sure that you need to do it? If you find a teacher and learn all day, you can learn English up to intermediate level. It means up to intermediate level, it means so you can have an intermediate level but not higher. So I think so. If you're really gifted in languages, so gifted means that if you have a real talent, so if you have real talent, if you're really talented, yeah, if you're really gifted in languages and have a perfect memory, if your memory is really good, okay? So it's important to know it perfectly. So it's important to know English perfectly, and it will take longer. Yeah, so it means that, okay, so maybe you can reach this level, an intermediate level. Yeah, if you really work all day, study English all day with a teacher, and you have very good skills and great talent. But to learn it, I mean, another way, when you know everything about English, or you have a very high level, it will take longer. It will take longer. Okay. So next, can I learn 2 foreign languages at the same time? It's possible. So it means, yeah, you can do it anyway. If you really want a perfect result and fast, perfect result means very good result and fast, you need to focus on one language. So focus on or concentrate on one language, or just study one language if you need just this result fast. How to learn English with movies? It's a very interesting idea indeed. However, don't think that it can replace traditional methods completely. It can replace means don't think that you can use only this method but not traditional methods. Ideally, it means that ideally it will be great, yeah. You need to watch them with English subtitles. It's great when you watch them with English subtitles and have at least intermediate level. Okay, so what I'm talking about is that, okay, so watching movies is very interesting, but it isn't for beginners. It isn't for beginners. So you need to watch them with subtitles, and it's good if your level is minimum or at least intermediate, but it's good, yeah. Well, so what dictionary should I use? It's also a very good question. In the beginning, you need to use a bilingual dictionary. So bilingual, so that you can see a translation from English into your language. So bilingual, it means English, and then you have a translation, yes? Then you need to start using a monolingual dictionary. It's a very important thing, more and more, especially from intermediate level. Yeah, monolingual dictionary, when all the explanations are in English. It will help you think in English and do it fast. Yeah, it's a very important thing. Well, how can I stop making mistakes? It really annoys me. It really annoys me. It means that I don't really like it. So there are 2 ways. The first way is short, while the second way is longer. You can start, the first way. You can start using simple phrases, just use simple phrases, use simple language, simple words, simple structures. If you are sure about this phrase, word, or structure, use it. If not, if you aren't sure, don't use it. Okay, it's the first way. And the second way is that you need to do lots of grammar exercises for different levels, and so you'll do this exercise and you'll improve your grammar. Well, do I need to know all English tenses? It's a good idea to know what they mean, but what? But your main task is to know the most important tenses first. Okay, it means that you use, if you look at English conversation, so we don't use all these tenses, and you need to use just the most important ones, such as present simple, past simple, future simple, present continuous, present perfect, past continuous, past perfect, and present perfect continuous. Okay, please have a look at our playlists on grammar too. Okay, grammar, English tenses. Okay, well, good. Next, I don't understand when I should use this or that tense. Okay, so many things come from practice and experience. You need to do 3 things. First, learn these tenses. So you need to understand this grammar. So how do we form this tense? So when do we use it? You need to know some theory, okay, some theoretical information. Second, do exercises, yes, so not only reading, so and exercises too. And third, read more, a very important thing. So few students know about it. So read more and try to understand why this or that tense is used. Why this or that tense is used. So you need to read and you need to pay attention to it, pay attention to grammar, to English tenses. You need to analyze, you need to try to analyze the situation. For example, you see, okay, so this tense is used. So is used, why do we have is used? And you need to understand that is used, it's passive voice. It's passive voice for present simple. It's passive voice for present simple. And so you read and try to analyze, try to understand, so why we have this grammar. It's a very important thing. Okay, good. What is next? Is English easy or difficult? This language isn't so difficult. At the same time, it means I also want to say it isn't so easy. It's relatively easy. It's relatively easy, or it's quite easy to reach a pre-intermediate level. So okay, so it won't take you long. It won't take you actually long. It means that you won't spend lots of time in it. So the most difficult thing is to move ahead, or to go ahead and do what? And reach an advanced level is the most difficult thing. So many students, most students have this level pre-intermediate, but few students have that a level higher than intermediate. So it's the most difficult thing. So, and it's really very difficult. Okay. Okay, next, what's the most difficult thing about learning English? Okay, really, what is it? To find time for it every day. Yeah, really, it's the biggest problem, I think. So luckily, it means that fortunately, so we have this luck. So there are so many free resources nowadays. Nowadays, it's the same as now, but it's a bit more formal nowadays. You just need to find time. Yeah, it's the main problem. If you learn English for 2 hours every day, I won't believe that you won't have progress. It means that if you really learn English every day and for 2 hours, you'll make progress. Yeah, you'll make progress. Okay, good. So what is the best way to practice English? So find an English speaking partner, but not from your country. It's an important thing, but not from your country. It's better, one more important thing, it's better to find several partners, not more than one. You need to speak English with different people, not just with one person. Okay, good. What should I read? Start with adapted books for different levels. Yeah, it's a very important thing. Adapted books and for different levels. You can start from the lowest level, for example, beginner or elementary. And the next very important thing, written by native speakers. It's a very important thing, So this language should be very natural. So you need only natural language, only natural, actually, English. And they contain most common English words. Contain means there are most common English words in these books. And you need to get used to these words, phrases, and structures. It means that actually you need to see these words, phrases, and structures and understand them. So it's very important for your speech. It can help you, speak English fast too. A very important thing. Next, how much should I read to get to the next level? Okay. So please, my friend, don't think that after reading one book, we say after doing something, after reading one book, you'll go to the next level and so on. It's very naive, It's very naive. It means that, in fact, it isn't so. It's a good idea to read something simple a lot. So read a lot, but simple things, just to feel more confident. You need to feel more confident, okay? And you'll have this feeling, okay, I understand everything. I understand every word. And one more important thing, my friend, and you need to understand every sentence or every grammar structure, all these. You need to understand all these grammar structures, and you need not just, so many students say, okay, it's easy, we can translate it. Not this way. If you can translate it, it isn't enough. You need to understand why we have this preposition there, in or at, or why we have this tense here. So past simple or present perfect. It's very important. It's work. Yeah, so read more simple text and analyze these texts, these citations, this material. Okay, so and it can be 10 books. Yeah, it can be 10 books at one level or more. It's okay. You learn for yourself. Yes, focus on quality. Quality. Okay, quality, not just the number of books or. Okay, so you learn English for yourself. Well, my friend, so the next possible question, how can I improve my grammar greatly? You know, it's a very good question. I know that many students do the following. Please listen, this information is very important and I'm sure it will help you, okay? So they learn one grammar book, for example, elementary, then they go to the next grammar book, intermediate, and then they find it extremely difficult. It means they find it very difficult, yeah? So this elementary book was very easy for them. Then they go to this book, it's very difficult and they aren't very happy. And then maybe they can study it, yeah? Then they look at the next level, advanced level, and what happens next? And they stop learning grammar. They stop learning grammar. So is this situation familiar to you? So do you know this situation? Do you know people who were in this situation? I think so. My friend, you need to do another thing. You need to study several books at one level. For example, 2 or 3 books, elementary level. So it's very important, not just one book. So 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5. So you need to feel confident. You need to be sure that you know all this information. Need more exercises, yeah, more exercises. So 2 or 3 books, intermediate level, and so on. And only after that you'll go to upper intermediate level or to advanced level. Okay, so maybe you'll find more books for this or that level. It's good. So you need to have lots of grammar practice, lots of not one book isn't enough. Yeah, just a myth. It's just a myth. You'll forget everything very quickly, my friend. And my friend, this piece of advice is very simple, but it can help you greatly. I mean, this recommendation. Unfortunately, it means it's a pity. Few people, not many people know it and do it, but you know it, and I hope that you'll start doing it, okay? Next, how many English words should I know? Well, to communicate effectively with other people, 2 means if you want to communicate effectively with other people, you need to know about 3,000 English words. So not 100, not 500, it's too little, believe me, it's too little. If you want to understand a lot, I mean native speakers, so in different situations, you need to know minimum 10,000 English words, minimum 10,000 English words, because they use lots of words, they use lots of phrases, and you need to know it, okay? Good. Well, should I read or listen more? English pronunciation is very important. You need to read and listen, yeah, read and listen at the same time. Only reading isn't so effective, believe me, isn't so effective, yeah? People did it earlier, so maybe 40 years ago, 50 years ago, but not now, not nowadays, okay? So when you listen, it's like listening to real native speakers in England or America for free. Yeah, it's really good. So you know that earlier people couldn't do it. Yeah, so they went to England, they went to America just to listen, but you can do it staying at home. My friend, it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity, and I just want to ask you, don't miss this opportunity, don't miss this chance, okay? Listen to English speech as much as you can, my friend. Well, next. Should I study British or American English? It depends on your aims. It means that you can have different ideas, you can have different thoughts, your motivation can be different. And if you want to live or study in America, for example, you need to focus on American English. And the opposite, yes? So if you want to live in Britain, so you need British English. So I believe the best thing is to be able to understand both British and American English. So you need to understand both British and American English, not only British, not only American English, okay? Good. Okay, should I read classical literature to improve my English? No, it isn't a good idea. Focus on modern English, yeah? If you really want to improve your English fast, you need to focus on modern English. It's a very important thing. Should I read only English books? It's a good idea to read books, but not only them. Read different topics, conversations, yeah, so conversations, we have lots of topics, conversations on this channel. So when your level gets higher, read newspapers, magazines and articles more. And so when you have an advanced level or upper intermediate level, so it will be very easy for you to read these newspapers and magazines. It's a very important practice. Okay, good. How to learn English pronunciation? So I think that you were waiting for this question. Okay, so just shortly, but very interestingly and effectively, mostly by listening and repeating. So you can improve it mostly by listening and repeating. So you need to listen and repeat. Not only listen and repeat, but that's not all. I will tell you what you need to do. What else you need to do, okay? So if you want more, listen. It's also a good idea to learn how to move your tongue to pronounce English sounds. Yeah, really. There are some differences in pronunciation of English sounds and sounds in your mother tongue. And if you want actually to have a better pronunciation, so you need actually to study this thing too. Yeah, it's also very important because there are some differences in pronunciation. So in the movement of your tongue, it's also very important. Okay, good. How to learn English phrases? You might think that you can remember all of them if you have a list of them, so when you have them on paper. But this method doesn't work. It doesn't work, yes, this method doesn't work. You need to read and listen a lot. Only this way, read and listen a lot. These phrases will be met again and again, and you'll remember them, okay? So do you remember our idea about, when we analyze the text, the situation will be met? So what is the structure? Will be met. So we call it passive voice. We call it passive voice, and the tense is future simple. Passive voice, future simple. Okay, some people say, oh, it's boring. We don't want it. We don't need it. No, it isn't boring. You need to understand it. If you don't understand it, you don't know English. So you need to focus on grammar, okay? Will be met, will be plus the third form or past participle again and again, and you remember them. Next, should I attend English courses? It's up to you, or as you wish. So if you wanted, so you can attend these English courses. If you want to have a teacher, why not? If you have money, yeah? Really, if you have money, why not? But as for me, this method isn't suitable. It means that this method isn't good for me, doesn't suit me. As means because I spend lots of time. I spend lots of time on the way there and back. Yes, lots of time on the way there and back. Then I need to put on my clothes, to take off my clothes, and lots of other things related to my preparation. And it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. Really, I don't like it. So I prefer actually to learn at home. And most people think, yeah, one more important thing, really. Most people think that they can only make progress if they attend some English courses. So if they go to some English courses. That's not true. That's not true. Yeah, it's just this idea in your mind. So some people think, oh, if we have a teacher, if we take private lessons, or if we attend some English courses, if we pay money, we can make good progress. If not, we can't. No, it's a myth. It's an illusion. That's not true. So there are so many resources online, and good resources, and our channel is one of them. Our channel English Profession is one of them. You need to study, and that's all. You don't need to pay. You don't need to waste your time. When you go somewhere and it takes an hour or more, no, you can do it. You can do it for free. You can learn English for free. Okay, what do you think about a video format of learning English? If it's a good lesson, yeah, we need to say it is or it's. Yeah, it's better to say it's. You know, native speakers mostly use short forms. It's very effective, yeah, if it's a good lesson, because there are so many bad lessons too, and they are ineffective. You can watch this lesson again and again. I hope that you understand what I'm talking about, while sitting comfortably on your chair. Yeah, just use your, actually, some teachers, who upload videos on YouTube, they say, so they don't care what you do. They just want, they just want you to learn. And that's the most important thing, okay? So, and it's really very comfortable. It's very comfortable, and this method is suitable, yeah, for lots of English learners. Very good format. And more than that, or in addition to that, it's absolutely free. You don't need to pay. Yeah? It's a real revolution in online education, and I'm so glad, my friends, that I have this amazing opportunity. I have this unique chance to share my knowledge with you. Yeah, so it was in my head, and now it isn't only in my head. So actually, that's great. Yeah, that's great, and it's thanks to our modern technology. Okay, thanks to the internet, thanks to YouTube, and thanks to the support, of course. So actually, it's actually your part too. It's your part too. So that this channel is growing thanks to your support. It's a very important thing. And thanks a lot, my friends. I'd like to thank you very much. But we need to go ahead. Okay, how to improve my vocabulary? One more good question. Well, there are different methods, and there is one good method: learn English words grouped into categories. For example, you learn different words about money, about job. So you have a text, a conversation, you have exercises. It's a one, or just learn a list of English words for revision. It's also good, that we have this list on our channel too. Good. So what do you think about international exams for English learners? International exams. Yeah, do you know? Do you know it? So it's worth preparing for them. So this structure, worth doing, it means it's a good idea to prepare for these exams. So it can help you see your real level, as well as giving you a clear idea, as well as it means it can also give you a clear idea what skills you need to work on, yeah? And so maybe you have problems with reading skills, with writing skills, but you don't know about it. You just need to actually to do these sample papers, to do it, to try to take it, and you'll see your real level. It's also very important, and it's very good for your motivation, okay? So how to speak English more naturally? Well, good question. Yeah. So what you need to do is to study materials written by native speakers. It's very important, yeah. Or written by very professional English teachers. Watch more lessons on speaking with subtitles. The problem is that students often study English grammar, and these books are ineffective. So just choose the best books written by native speakers. Or if this person isn't a native speaker, he or she should be very, very professional, so that you can see the result and trust him. It's okay too, but professionalism is in the first place, okay? And next, my friends, watch more lessons on speaking with subtitles. It's very important. So really, I don't understand, some people upload videos on speaking, but they don't have subtitles. Okay, and how am I going to learn? Maybe I understand the basic idea. Some students think this way, but I need to understand everything. It's better, yeah, actually to watch these lessons with subtitles. Yeah, you need to see the text to catch each phrase. We talked about it. Next, how to speak English faster. There are several things which can really help you. Use simple words and structures. We talked about it and you'll be speaking English very fast. Don't think in your mother tongue. Yeah, it means that you need to think in English. Think in English, and you know that you need to try to speak to yourself on different subjects. For example, you choose a subject, learning English, and then you start speaking. Okay, so How is it effective to learn English? I suppose that there are different ways. And so, as for me, I suppose that the most effective way of learning English is, and then you continue, you speak, and it's very effective too. And try to do it as soon as possible. So please try it, and you can also record yourself. Yeah, it's very easy to listen to other recordings, to other lessons, and I know that sometimes students criticize other teachers' lessons, and they don't understand how difficult it is to record a long lesson, not just a short one, and they need to record their speech, and they need to look at their result or their product, yes, and their pronunciation, and they'll be surprised and they'll be maybe shocked. They won't be happy about this result, but you need to know it. You need to know it, how it looks like. Okay. So do it from time to time and see or measure your progress. Next, can I learn English during the sleep or while sleeping? So you can say during the sleep. So it's one way of saying it. So I wanted to type it first, or while sleeping. Okay, good question. Thank you. Well, you can't learn it during the sleep. Almost not. Yeah. Anyway, it's very effective to learn it before going to bed. So before going to bed, it's very effective to learn English before going to bed. And maybe you'll have dreams in English. Do you have dreams in English, my friends? So your brains work and you improve your English. So, and it's also a good method. You need to try. Okay, how to learn 100 English words a day? Yeah? You may have heard, it means maybe you heard, yeah? You may have heard many times, you may have heard it many times, but this method doesn't work. If you aren't a beginner, yeah, if you aren't a beginner, you can learn the first 1000 English words very quickly, because you refresh your knowledge. It means you remember what you studied earlier, and you refresh your knowledge, and you knew 95% of these words earlier. Yeah, you can do it very fast. So it isn't learning, it isn't remembering, but if you are an absolute beginner, it's impossible. You can learn it, but you'll forget it very quickly, okay? I promise. Next, should I write down everything what I hear to improve my English? So you don't need to do it. It can take you too long, really. You don't need to write down every word which you hear when you listen to something. No. How to speak English automatically? It's only by having lots of English speaking practice in familiar situations. So in familiar and in unfamiliar situations. So situations which are rarely met to in different situations. Only practice, lots of speaking practice. So is it easier to learn other foreign languages after English? Much easier, it's a fact, really. So, and you can try to do it and you'll see it. Okay, and two more very good questions. So what is better, to know English perfectly or several languages but upper intermediate level, or maybe several languages intermediate level? And I can tell you the following, that it depends on your aim or on your aims, yeah, if you have some aims. Personally, or as for me, I believe you need to have an upper intermediate level of English, or what? Or an advanced level, it means the highest level. As for other languages, you don't need to have such a high level, so it can be intermediate or upper intermediate, but I believe that you should have an advanced level in English. And the last one, okay, very important question. So I sometimes feel that the process of learning English is endless. It means without end. So I learn many new words and again, so new structures, and as a result I get depressed. I'm very sad. My friend, please don't give up. So don't feel depressed. It does have an end. Thus, it's universal. It means it really has an end. Follow the tips in this lesson and other lessons on the channel English Professionally. Yes, and it will help you. And my friend, I look forward to your great progress in English. and I really hope that you'll start using these tips and you'll have an advanced level in English soon, and you'll be very happy, yeah, when you learn English. It's very important to enjoy the process. So two things: you make good progress and you enjoy learning English and you smile. Okay, so my progress is really good. Thank you, my friends. See you. Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video is called How to Learn 20,000 English Words and More. Okay, so thank you very much for your support, likes and shares. So really, let's talk about this very important subject. Okay, are you ready? I hope so. So really, why are you so sure that I need to know 20,000 English words or more? Really, so it's a good question. Why? Why are you so sure? So why do you really think so? Well, I suppose you misunderstood me a little. It means that I suppose, or I think you didn't understand me correctly, or you didn't understand me rightly. So misunderstood. You understood it another way, okay? So no way am I going to tell you this. No way, it means that I don't want to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you this. So, and we use no way to make this sentence sound stronger. So no way, and then you use the opposite word order, okay? So normally we say I am, but if we have this structure, no way, we use the opposite word order, am I. We call it inversion. So no way am I going to tell you this. So this lesson, you know, is for all students. I mean, this information is very useful for all students, but actually the language in this lesson is mostly for intermediate students and higher, okay? So good. So no way am I going to tell you this. Yeah, no, I'm not going to tell you this. No, okay? So the most important point is that, or the most important thing is that it depends on your, we say it depends on your aims, needs, purposes and demands, okay? So you know that aims and purposes, actually they are similar, very similar words, okay? So aims, needs, purposes and demands. It depends on what you want, okay? So maybe you don't need actually these 20,000 English words. Who knows? Okay. Anyway, it's like but, anyway or but. If you really want to have a strong advanced level, so very good advanced level, you need it. Yeah, really, you need to know 20,000 English words or more. Just I think so. Okay, and I can tell you that I suppose I know about 2,000 or 3,000 English words. So about means that I'm not sure, maybe 2,100, maybe 2,800, I'm not sure, okay? So 2,000 or 3,000 English words, and I feel two things at the same time. Two things, okay? So the first feeling is that it isn't so little, it isn't so little, 2,000 or 3,000 English words. And the second feeling is that it isn't enough to understand real English speech. Really, it isn't enough. It's good, but it isn't enough. Really. Okay, so my friend, you are absolutely right. It means that you are right, and I'm sure you are right. Okay, I'll be very sincere and straightforward with you. Okay, what is sincere? It means very open, very open. So I am actually telling you what I think, and straightforward, it means that I will say it directly. So I will tell you how I feel, I will tell you how I think. So I'll be sincere, I'll be open, and I'll be straightforward. I'll tell you these things directly, so as I understand it, as I see it, okay? Or with you, why you need to know such a large number of words, okay? So you know that there are also very effective methods of learning English words, so that they remain in your memory forever. So that, a nice phrase, So it means that you want them to be in your memory forever. So you say to stay or to be or remain in your memory forever. So I mean that you can learn English words, yeah. So you can learn maybe 20,000 English words, 10,000, 30,000 English words. But I have a question for you. How long will you be able to remember these words? So 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So we have another method, we have another idea. So you need to remember it. And all these words will be in your memory for all your life, forever. So it's another thing, so it's more difficult, but it's what you need. Okay? By the way, let's discuss it. As it's often said, step by step. So as it's often said, it's passive voice, as people often say, so step by step. So we'll talk about the first thing, the second thing, the third thing, and so on. And I expect to hear something special. Just maybe you can tell me something like that. So I expect to hear something special, or I think I'll hear something special and extremely useful. Expect to hear something special and extremely useful. It means very, very useful information, so which you really need. Okay, good. Sure, it means of course. Unfortunately, so it's a very sad fact, it's a pity, it's a very disappointing fact. Most students learn English ineffectively, so they don't learn it effectively. It's a very sad fact. It's a very sad story, and we can't deny it. We can't say no, that's not true. Okay, as a consequence or as a result, you can say as a consequence or as a result, they get stuck. So they stop, so they can't go on. Yes, they stuck. And I've got accustomed to listening to things like that. So I've got accustomed to, it means that, so I often actually hear things like that, and so it's normal for me. So I've got accustomed to, or I've got used to something, to doing something, okay, to things like that. So it's a normal thing for me, yeah. So, and I often actually have to listen to these things, the things like that. Oh, I'll never be able to learn English. So be able, we use it in the future instead of can. So can in the future is will be able, I'll never be able to learn English, so I can't learn English. English isn't for me, and I'm just wasting time trying to learn it. So it means that, okay, so English is too difficult and it's not for me, so wasting time. So I have time, maybe I tried to learn English but I don't have a result, so I need to stop. So I'm wasting time, so it's stupid trying to learn it. Okay, so it's a real pity. It means it's a sad thing, it's a very disappointing thing, and it's often considered, you can say it's often considered, it's passive voice, or it's often said. People often say, so people often consider it, that we need to come to terms with this fact. So come to terms, it's another nice phrase. Actually, it means that we need to accept. So you can say come to terms or accept the fact, yes, and accept this harsh reality. So come to terms, it's a nice phrase. I think that's mostly for advanced speakers. Actually, it's very nice, if someone uses these phrases, someone knows this phrase. So come to terms with this fact, so we need to accept this fact, we need just to leave it as it is and accept this harsh reality. So reality, so which isn't so good, which isn't so pleasant, so unpleasant thing, so bad thing. So it's a real thing, but it's a bad thing, okay? And so it means that it's often considered, so people often want actually just to have it. They don't want to change anything, it's this idea in short. And as far as I'm concerned, or as for me, I have a completely different point of view on this issue. It means that I have a different idea. I have a very, very different idea, so I think differently on this issue or on this matter, on this subject. subject, okay? So I believe, really, I believe everyone can reach a strong advanced level in English. Everyone, absolutely everyone, and learn 20,000 English words or more. If you learn English really effectively, yeah, it's possible. And this thing, yeah, is regardless of race. So what is regardless of race, nationality, age, income, social status, and other factors? It means that it doesn't depend. It's a nice phrase, regardless of something, yeah? It doesn't depend on these things. It's no matter. So no matter what your nationality is, no matter how old you are, so no matter what your income is, it doesn't matter at all. So it doesn't matter, okay? So it's possible to reach this level, a strong advanced English level for everyone. Okay, good. So, you know, I start feeling really optimistic. So optimistic or positive, so you believe that you'll have a good future. What should I do to increase my vocabulary? So what should I do to make my vocabulary larger? To answer this question, I'd like to hear something from you. Okay? So I mean your background. So your background, a very nice word. So what is it? So as you might know, or maybe you know it, as you might know, it's about your past experience or your previous experience, so experience which you had earlier, or you know, in the past, skills and so on. So what you can do, skills and so on. So I need to know something about you, yeah, to give you a really good recommendations or good advice. Okay, so okay, as it has already been said, it's a very nice structure. It means that I have already said it, but it's in passive voice, present perfect passive voice. It has already been said. So we use present perfect because of already. As it has already been said, it means that okay, so as I have already said it, or as it has already been said, I know about 2,000 or 3,000 English words. Okay, so I took a list of 6,000 English words and tried to learn it. Okay, so I think that maybe you also tried, yeah, to learn a list of English words. Yeah, it's interesting to know about it. And so I have a question for you. How was it? How was it? So did it work? So did you learn all these words? I was absolutely happy. It means I was very, very happy, but only in the beginning, as 90% of those words, as means because 99% of those words were familiar to me. It means that I knew those words. They weren't new for me. They weren't unknown for me. So okay, so I knew those words. Then, or after that, more and more difficult words were appearing. So really I saw very difficult words more and more, which was often leading to a splitting headache. So which was often leading to. So lead to, it means that I had it. As a result. As a result, I had it, a splitting headache. So we can say terrible headache, but splitting, it's, you know, it sounds from a splitting headache. So it's such a terrible headache. It was such a terrible headache, splitting. So it was unbearable. Unbearable means I couldn't bear it. So I couldn't tolerate it. So it was unbearable. Okay, and you know, I got fed up with this learning method. So fed up with, it means that I got really bored. I got really bored with it. So it became very boring for me, and okay, and that's enough, or that was enough. So I didn't want to continue learning like that any longer. So that was enough. I was fed up. I was fed up. It was unbearable. Okay, so really, and maybe we can say I can't stand this method. Okay. It means I hate this method. Okay, and what can I say? It's quite understandable. It means that it's easy to understand it. It's quite understandable. So no surprising at all. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. So maybe you were thinking, okay, so he'll be greatly surprised, but no. no surprise at all. So, and I want to tell you something more. So there are two major problems. Students face or students have. Yeah, very nice phrase. So two major problems or two biggest problems. So the most important problems students face or students have, and you also need to be aware of it. And you also need to know it or to be aware of it. Personally, I don't trust these lists. Personally, it means if you want to know my opinion, yeah, I don't trust these lists. It means that I don't think that these lists of English words are really good. Yeah, just it's my idea. So not all of them are really good. The problem is that many of these words are not for daily use, yeah, and unnecessary, really. So I looked at some lists, and I think that's actually not good. So I wasn't satisfied at all. And you need a reliable source. You really need a reliable source. So a source which you can rely on. So you need to trust this source and to be sure that this source is really good. So this list of English words is really good, and it can lead you to a result you really want, yeah, or you really intend to get, or you're going to get. Okay, so I think that's clear. Okay, well done. So secondly, or the second thing, if you're going to learn this or that list without examples, yeah, so just words, a list of words, it's absolutely ridiculous. So it's such a bad thing, such a terrible thing, it's ridiculous. So it's absurd. So actually there is no reason for doing it, okay? Honestly, so I want to be honest with you, honestly, okay, honestly, I consider it a huge waste of time. So I think it's a huge waste of time, a very big waste of time. So there is no point in doing it, it's useless, So you can have a look at our great video, yeah, 2000 English words with examples, or 2500 English words with examples, yeah, please have a look. And keep in mind two things, so please have it in your mind, yeah? So you need examples, and you need appropriate words, but not inappropriate. Appropriate means common words, popular words, but not inappropriate, not uncommon words. It's what you need, yeah? So it's a problem of many lists of English words. So yeah, so we have just talked about it. Okay, so however, don't think these lists of words will solve all your problems immediately. Okay, don't solve. Yes, it's good, but don't think so it's the only right way, is the only solution. No, simply enough. So it's a good phrase, yeah, for speaking. It means it's a simple thing, simply enough. It won't work this way. So these lists can be perfect for revision, but not for learning from scratch. It means that these lists can be very good. So if you know these words and you just want to revise some words, maybe you know 90%, 95%, it's good for revision, but not for learning. If from the beginning or from scratch, from zero, okay, not scratch, from scratch, if you know nothing, yeah, I don't know, but some students think, okay, just I'll take this list of words, 3000, just I'll make cards and I'll remember everything and I'll know English in 10 days. No, it doesn't work this way. Why do people think so? It's an illusion, it's a myth. So you need to use other techniques. So what are you talking about? Okay, what are you talking about? Please listen. I'm going to tell you one phenomenal thing. It means very, very important thing, and this thing is of great importance, and it's like a discovery. It's like a scientific discovery. It's a very big discovery. So to remember English words, you need to listen to them in context. Yes, a very important thing, to listen to them in context. Reading is good, yeah, but without listening, it's 5 or 10 times less effective. Yeah, it's 5 or 10 times less effective. And you know, it's what we are doing right now. So we are listening. Yeah, we are listening, you are listening to it, and you are reading. It's 5 or 10 times more effective, I believe so. Yeah, if you want to remember it. Yeah, so it's a memory of your ears, and not only your eyes. It's a very important thing, and you see actually, and you hear the correct pronunciation, and it will be in your memory much longer. Okay, so how can it be? All right, I'll say it more precisely, or I'll say it more exactly. So more precisely, more exactly, I'll give you more information, I'll give you more details so that you can understand it really well. Okay, so just imagine this situation. You read some conversations for intermediate students and you translate it, yeah, and you translate it some words, okay? And you're absolutely certain, or you're absolutely sure that all these words and phrases will be in your memory, but you'll have to change your mind. It means that you'll have to, it's like, you know, it's like must in the future, but you'll change your idea, you'll change your point of view when days, weeks and months pass. It means that later you'll understand that this method doesn't work. Yeah, when you translate new words, you're sure, okay, just I know these words, I remember them, but then time passes, yeah, and you try to remember words, phrases, but it's so difficult and it's often impossible. And you know that you're likely to forget. It means that really you'll forget most of these extremely useful words and phrases. So really you'll forget most of these extremely useful words and phrases if you only read them. There is one more thing which is bound to happen, right? You haven't misheard me. It's certain to happen. So, you know, these phrases are similar, so you can say bound to happen or certain to happen. It means the same. It means that these things will definitely happen. So they will happen, and I'm sure that these things will happen, and you haven't misheard me. It means that, so actually, you heard this information and don't think that this information isn't right, don't think that this information isn't correct. No, this information is good, is reliable, you can trust this information. So I understand what I'm talking about. I'm not a crazy person, just I control my words, I control my speech, and so I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's certain to happen. Yeah, a very important thing, you will never be able, it's, you know, it's like can in the future, you will never be able to use all this vocabulary in your speaking effectively. Yeah, a very important thing. Okay, so if you just read something, okay, maybe you'll remember some words, but it will be very, very difficult. It will be very, very problematic. It will be a big problem for you if you want, actually, if you are serious about, learning English effectively and improving your speaking skills. So you won't be able to remember it while speaking. So only reading isn't good. So you need to listen, and few students understand it really well. So yeah. So I don't know why, okay? So, and what are you talking about? What are you talking about, really? I mean that if you really want to learn English words, so I mean that it means that I want to tell you, yeah? So what I'm talking about is what I'm talking about. If you really want to learn English words, you need to use them in your speech, writing. So in your speech, writing, very important things. And you also need to listen to them. Not only reading, but listening a lot to English words in context. So speech, writing, and listen, but listening a lot to English words in context is a crucial point in terms of your understanding. Okay, so it's a crucial point means the most important point, the most important thing. It's a crucial point, the most important thing, okay, in terms of your understanding. In terms of means actually if we are talking about your level of understanding, so concerning in terms of your understanding or concerning your understanding, okay, so in terms of, so you are talking about it in terms of your understanding, so you need to focus on it. Okay, so good. Only listening? What about reading? How can I learn all these 20,000 English words? Well, you need to do the following. You need to do the following, or you need to do these things. We need to read and listen to it at the same time. So don't read, yeah, don't read only, don't read only books, without, some MP3 files or some audio files. Don't do it, just read and listen, okay? So at the same time, so read and listen at the same time, and different texts, conversations, topic, and translate these words, It's very important to translate these words, okay? I mean that if you read them not in the original, adapted texts, conversations, topics, yeah, that's for English learners. All right, so good. What you also need to do is the following. So you need to write down these words, okay? So you see new words, yeah, you translate these words, and you need to write down these words and revise them from time to time. Yeah, so write down. So if you, for example, see a new word, for example, so maybe this one, so bound or certain to happen, so you need to write it down. You need to have, you need to keep a vocabulary notebook, and you need to write down all these words and to look at it and to look through these words from time to time. So it's a very good method, yeah, and revise them from time to time. So please write down all new words, all new phrases, and look through it from time to time. Yes, it's good. But don't write down only words, or not only words. You need to have examples. So please write down examples. So you need to have examples before your eyes. Yeah, really, because it's very important during the revision. Okay, so you can say maybe, I did the following. So I read without listening, and I didn't keep a vocabulary notebook. Okay, so I read without listening and I didn't keep a vocabulary notebook. So it means that, okay, so you read, but maybe you translated, but you didn't take notes, you didn't write it down, so not so effective. And I believe it's ineffective. So it isn't effective. So you didn't do three most important things, yeah? And you can ask, okay, you may ask, what are these things? So you didn't listen to all these text, conversations, and topics. Yeah, we talked about it. So you need to read and listen, not only reading if you really want to remember these words, okay? Listen, you need to listen to all these words, and yeah, it's the first thing. The second thing, you didn't write. You didn't write down new important words and you didn't revise them. It's also a very important thing. That, yeah, please do it. Don't think it's unimportant. It's very important. So write down new words, new phrases, and look through actually your vocabulary notebook from time to time. Please revise it, and you'll remember it much better. And third, you didn't listen to these materials again while doing other things as a background. It means that you didn't listen to these materials again. For example, yeah, so you think that this lesson is quite good, yeah, no problem. Just write down your words, your phrases, then get back to it after a while or after some time. Just listen to it again or watch it again, and okay, you'll say, okay, I have no free time, no problem. But I'm not telling you that you need just, to sit on your chair and just to listen to it. You can do other things. So while doing other things, you can do other things and listen to these videos, to this playlist as a background. So no problem, and try to understand. So it's a really important thing, and if you didn't do it, so I believe it's ineffective, and it was ineffective. Okay, so I can't get it. I can use this method and I expect to learn 5,000 English words or maybe 7,000, but why 20,000? But why 20,000? A good Question. I'll explain it to you. When you know more words and you know 10,000 English words or a little bit more, you can focus on listening real English, not simplified. So it's a real problem. So if you don't know many words, you can't listen to real English. So you can't turn on the radio, or you can't start watching some programs in English, so without translation, without subtitles, so you can't understand. Maybe you can understand the main idea 50%, but it's too little. You need to understand minimum 95%. But if you know this number of words, so if you use our tips, our recommendations, if you follow these tips, so you can focus on listening. Yeah, so you need to listen more and more. Real English speech, and not simplified, okay? So you'll be able to understand a lot from the context while listening, in contrast to other students who focus mostly on grammar and reading. Yeah, so you'll be able to understand a lot. It means that it will be possible for you to understand a lot. Okay, so you'll be able to understand a lot, many things from the context while listening. So you know that teachers often say, okay, so read more, and you will understand many new words from the context. And I can tell you, yes, that's a good idea, but you need to listen more, not only reading. And my idea is the following: so you need to learn more English words, and you need to listen more. And to understand English context from the context, but not reading context, but listening context, okay? In contrast to other students. So it means that other students do the opposite thing, yeah? They focus mostly on grammar and reading. So maybe they know many English words, but they can't understand. They can't understand real English speech, and as a result, their progress is very slow. Okay, but it isn't your case, or it won't be your case, it won't be your situation if you follow these tips. Okay, what are the recommendations can you give? So to sum up, or in conclusion, it's the following. So to make the process of learning English words easier and more enjoyable, so that you can enjoy it, so to learn really 20,000 English words or more. So learn English words in context for different levels. It's a very important thing. So don't learn only difficult materials. Learn them step by step. So simple, then more difficult, and so on. Learn English words in groups. For example, words about money, words about environment, words about job, and so on. It's also a good idea, but for different levels. In context for different levels. Next, you can revise some lists of English words with examples for revision. So you know that we have this list: 2,000 English words, 2,500 English words. So it's a good idea. If you're really keen on reading, so it means that if you really like reading and you don't want to listen to it, so it's okay to, that you can, or maybe you can only read, but listen to what you read is an advantage. So it's desirable, okay? So it's desirable to read and listen, not only reading. But if you maybe don't want, to listen to this or that story, text for some reason, okay, no problem, just read is better than nothing, okay? Next, watch movies or TV series with subtitles when your level gets higher, or without subtitles. But the main idea is that you need to start doing it. So when your level gets high, first do it with subtitles. So, and when you're actually become absolutely sure, yeah, and you'll have a good English level, very good English level, advanced, so you won't need subtitles because you'll be able to understand without them. Okay, next, good. So watch more educational programs, not only movies, yeah, to make your vocabulary really large. The problem is that the vocabulary you meet in movies, in TV series, is rather limited in contrast to many educational programs. So actually, you need to have a wide range of vocabulary, but not a very primitive, vocabulary. Well, and learn grammar books for different levels too. Why? So they are full of lots of new interesting words. Do you know this fact? That really grammar books are full of lots of new interesting words. They contain lots of difficult words too. Next, speak more on various topics. Yeah, it's a very important thing. You know, when students communicate, so they often have a conversation like this. Okay, how are you? Where are you from? So what are you doing? But you know, it's a very primitive language. So I mean that if you are really serious about improving your English greatly, so you need to talk on different topics or on various topics. Yeah, you need to practice different vocabulary, grammar structures, and so on. And please try to use different vocabulary with more advanced speakers. It's also very important. So improve your level and so find more advanced speakers too, so that you can learn from them. So you don't need to pay. You don't need to pay. You can learn English for free. That's true, and we can't say no. That's not true. It's really true. And it's really a good idea. Well, what's next? So when you read something or listen to something, yeah, also pay attention to English phrases. So pay attention to it means also actually have a look at these English phrases, try to analyze them to understand why they use this or that English phrase or collocation. It's like a special English phrase which you need to memorize, phrasal verbs, English grammar structures, maybe idioms, but not only words, not only words. Yeah, so you can learn 20,000 English words, but it isn't enough. You need to focus more on things like, I mean, these ones, yeah? Not only words to understand what this or that sentence really means. So pay attention, please, to different English phrases, okay? And last but not least, so last but not least means, so the last thing, but don't think that it's a very unimportant thing. So okay, although it's in the end or it's at the end of the lesson, so watch more videos on the channel English Professionally. And you know, my friends, I think it's a good idea. So and it's a good way, yeah, it's a good way. So we are on the right way, and really we've learned lots of new interesting things, information, and we're also improving our English greatly. So really, I'm very glad that I have this chance, that I think this opportunity, and okay, I'd like to thank you for your support and for this opportunity. Okay, thanks a lot for this opportunity. Okay, thank you very much. Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally. Thanks a lot for your support, thanks for your likes, shares and comments, and you know, I'm so happy that I'm recording this video for you. It's really so important, yeah, and I believe that everyone should watch this video, okay? So really, 10 secrets how to learn English fast. Yeah, really, we need to learn English fast. Okay, so I'm so tired and I don't see the way out. So I don't see the way out means I don't know what to do. What's the problem? I have been learning English for 2 years, and you know, to tell you the truth, it means that that's true, it's really so. I feel my progress is really slow. I hate it. I really hate it, and I have no idea what's going wrong. So I really hate it. So you know, just imagine it, okay? So I have been learning English means that for 2 years means that I started learning English 2 years ago. Yeah, it's in the past, and I'm still doing it, and I don't have progress. Okay, not good. Okay, if I were you, I would also start feeling nervous. If I were you, yes, it's unreal. And then we have would plus verb. I would also start feeling nervous. By the way, so anyway, so I want to know this thing, what's your level? I think it's about pre-intermediate. Okay, pre-intermediate. Okay, how regularly do you study English? Well, I try to learn English every day, minimum 1 hour, so minimum 1 hour. So you want to say that you've reached just pre-intermediate level after learning for 2 years and every day for 1 hour? Right. If you were an absolute beginner, so a beginner who knows absolutely nothing, yeah, about English, it isn't as terrible as you might think. So terrible, it means not bad. It isn't as terrible as you might think. It means that it isn't so bad. It isn't so bad. So maybe you think that it's really terrible, but in fact it isn't. So if you were an absolute beginner, so maybe this result isn't perfect, but it isn't terrible. It isn't terrible. Okay. Okay. So really, yeah. But let me finish. Let me finish. So I want to finish. Let me finish. Meanwhile, anyway, or I want to tell you, meanwhile, it could have been much faster too. So could have been means that it's about the past. It could have been much faster. So really, it took too long, so too much time. So yeah, actually, we need to do it faster. Okay, what do I mean? I mean that we can achieve this result in a couple of months. Couple means two, in 2 months, or even less, if we use the right technique. Technique, or we also name it as method. Okay, so you understand that. So if you know this right method, technique, you can have this result in a couple of months or in 2 months. What is this technique? There are 10 secrets. Follow them and you'll be a fast English learner. Enjoy learning English. Yeah, we say enjoy doing. Enjoy learning English. Your level will be advanced soon. So advanced, it's the highest level in English. So beginner, yeah, it's very low level, and then there are other levels, and advanced, it's very, very high level. It's impossible to believe it. It's impossible to believe it. Why don't you believe? Why don't you believe? Really, why don't you believe? This idea is in your mind. You have this idea that to learn English, you need to learn slowly. Okay? Who put this idea in your mind? Really, who put this idea in your mind? Why do you have this idea in your mind? You know, there are fast methods, fast ways, which lead to fast progress. As I guess, or as I think, so as I guess, 99% of people do like a crowd. So what is a crowd? Lots of people, so they don't know so what they really need. So it's often this way. They do like a crowd, yeah? As a result, they learn English slowly and ineffectively. But you know that we need to learn English effectively, only this way. Moreover, it means that I want to add something more. They feel depressed, so it means very sad, not happy, unhappy, and lose any desire or any wish to continue their studies. So they say, oh no, that's enough, I don't want it, so I can't, so English is not for me, and you know, so things like that, often happen. Have you ever experienced this kind of feeling? So experience means have you ever experienced, or have you ever had this kind of feeling? Have you ever felt it? Many times. So you know what it's all about, so you know what's it all about. Okay, we'd better hurry up. So we'd better means we had better hurry up. It means that we need to hurry up, yeah? We need to hurry up. We need to talk about it more quickly. So this information is good, but we need to talk about it more quickly. Okay, no problem. All right. I'm not going to take your time. I'll be speaking shortly, but yeah, I'm not going to take your time. It means that, I'll be speaking very shortly, but very interestingly, in a very interesting way, effectively, in a very effective way, and persuasively. it means that these things are very important, and I'll try to make you feel that okay, these things, I mean that it isn't only theory. These things really work, and I'll give you, some facts from my own life experience. Yeah, it isn't just words. So it's much more. It's a very good method, not just one method, but very good and effective methods. Yeah, to the best of my abilities. So I'll try to actually to explain it really well to the best of my abilities, or to the best of my abilities. I'll try to do it. Okay. Thank you. Let's start with the first secret. So start with simple grammar. You don't need lots of grammar. Yeah, but just the basics of it. The basics of it means the most important grammar. You know what often happens in reality or in our life, okay? So what happens? That students often memorize phrases, yeah? So they learn some phrases, and they have a feeling that they can speak in any situation, but they fail. It means that they have big problems. They can't do it. So they can't be successful, yeah, in it. And they become over-dependent on these poor vocabulary and phrases. So over-dependent means they depend too much. Just phrases, okay, how are you, how's life? And just these phrases, they can't make up English phrases by themselves. And it's a big problem. And you see, it's a big problem. They know what to say and answer in very simple situations, but the saddest thing is that, so the saddest, it means that's the worst thing, so they think is very, very bad. It's very sad that they are unable, so they can't. Unable means they can't, unable to make up English sentences by themselves, okay? So they need to remember these phrases. So if they remember, they can speak. If they don't remember, they can't speak. But it's very bad, you understand. So if you don't have this skill, yes, and it's a skill when you can do it, your progress will be very slow. You can't learn all English sentences for all situations. You can't do it. It's virtually impossible. So in fact, it's impossible. It's virtually impossible. Okay, good. I see what you mean. My knowledge of grammar isn't so good and isn't so bad at the same time, but I always have a fear. Means I'm afraid. I have a fear. I am afraid that I'll say something incorrectly. Incorrectly means something wrongly. I'll make a mistake. If it happens, it's bad. You need to be sure about your speech. Yeah, you need to be sure that your English is good, is right, is correct. If you're unsure just sometimes, it's okay. Yeah, if you're unsure just sometimes, it's okay. Yeah. But if it's every time, so yeah, you know that it's difficult to be sure about all things, and if it's just sometimes you're not sure, it's okay. Yeah, but if you're unsure about all your sentences, it's really bad. Okay, every time you need to, okay, you need to do what? You need to start working on it immediately. Immediately means right now. So do something to change this situation. Do something about that. Okay, I'll try to do it. What else? You also need to learn English words effectively. Really learn English words effectively. I often observe this situation, or I often see this situation. I meet this situation in my life. Really. Often observe this situation. What is this situation? Please listen. Some students are given a text for translation, so they need to translate this text. They spend 2 hours on translating it, and they are absolutely sure, so they are really sure that they did a great job, while So at the same time, or while, or when they don't understand one small thing. So they can do it, yeah, they can do it, yeah, they can translate everything, they can study, I think they study very hard, but they don't understand one small thing. What is it? It's almost a useless thing. A useless means that this thing isn't good, this method doesn't work, so it isn't a good idea. So we don't see any use, any good result. It's almost a complete waste of time. So yeah, most of these words are unnecessary, so we don't need these words. Okay, I'll put it another way. So good phrase. So I'll put it another way, or I'll say it another way. Okay, so unnecessary, or unpopular, uncommon. So these words are very rarely met. It means that, yeah, these words aren't popular, aren't common, and we meet them only sometimes, maybe one time in our life, and this one time is only now, yeah? And they are students, and they don't understand that they'll never meet some of these words in their life. Yes, it's a real pity, it's a terrible thing, okay? I hear it for the first time. I read different texts and I take everything for granted. Okay, so you see, I take everything for granted. It means that so some English teachers, yeah, they can give me a text and I read, I translate, and so I just do what they actually want from me, and so I don't try to understand it's good or bad. Okay, so don't do it. Yeah, so I mean, don't translate these very boring and unnecessary texts. You need to choose the most effective materials, but not useless, which slow down your progress greatly. So they slow down your progress, so you learn very slowly because of these useless textbooks, texts, videos. Okay. Okay, I hope that you understand my idea. So, okay, what's next? You need to read lots of simple texts for a start. Only this way. If you read only difficult texts, it will easily lead to confusion and misunderstanding, yeah? Only confusion and misunderstanding. So confusion, it means that okay, you will not understand many things, so it will be very difficult for you, and misunderstanding, it's almost the same, yeah? So start with simple things for a start and see your progress. 4. Listen to it too. So yeah, you read and listen to it too. Read and listen. Personally, I don't understand students who only read. So I can say personally, or as for me, if you want to know my opinion, or if you want to hear what I think about all this, I don't understand students who only read. This method is associated with the previous generation. Okay, so associated. It means that actually when I see this situation, okay, I remember maybe the time which was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when we had only books for reading. Yes, it's the previous generation, so not this time, not modern time, it's 20, 30 years ago. Okay, so it isn't so good. So read and listen, can you clarify this point? So can you clarify, or can you make clear? Can you make clear this point or this idea? So can you explain it? Okay, you have one text. You can read it quickly and feel satisfied or feel happy. It's one way. So yeah, you can read it quickly and you feel satisfied. It's one way. Maybe you don't understand some words, but okay, you feel, okay, I read this text, it's so good. However, there is another way. You read and listen. It's you know, like what we are doing now. You read, yeah, you read with your eyes and you listen with your ears. You hear how to pronounce everything correctly. So pronunciation is very important, really, it's so important. Yeah, so if you read, it's, you know, it's good, but it's slow. Both your eyes. So when you read and listen, both your eyes and your ears work. It means that your eyes and your ears work at the same time. You also translate unknown words, because you know this text is effective and 99% of these words are important, yeah? So you also translate words which you don't know, unknown words, and you read effective texts. So the problem is that we just talked about it, that students choose or have a text which is full of difficult words which will never need in their life, and it's terrible. The situation is terrible. But you need to read effective texts, with good words, with popular words, mostly popular words. All these words are important, so it's a very important thing. Okay, I mostly read no and no. That's why your progress is so slow. That's why your progress is so slow. So you need to listen, not only read. As you know, in the previous generation. You are a great teacher. Thank you so much. Oh, we need to go ahead. We need to go ahead. So listen to what you've already listened when you do other things. Okay? So it's very important thing. Yeah? It's very important thing. Listen to what you've already listened. Yeah? It's, you know, it's a very good training. But listen to other texts. Yes, listen to other texts, conversations, videos, or when you are busy with something else. When you're busy with something else, just listen, listen, and listen. And so I will explain it. I will explain it to you. Look, as I see, you learn English 1 hour a day. 1 hour, I mean 1 hour a day. In fact, so in reality, we see you can sit in front of your computer or a book for this time, for 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, but not more. But learning is another thing. Learning isn't sitting in front of the computer. Learning isn't learning only with a book. No, no, no. Learning is another thing. It's a different thing, and you should know it, okay? For example, you can walk in the park and listen. Yeah? You can go somewhere, or somewhere means to some place, and listen. So listen, listen, and listen. So some students say, okay, it's easier. Okay, so maybe it's easy, but why don't you do it? So you don't do it and you don't have progress. So you know that all genius things are simple and easy, but we put all these genius things together in this video. Okay, so all genius things are simple, but if it's easy, why don't you do it really? I don't understand. So listen, listen, and listen, and have progress. Okay? So you need to, and you won't have this problem any longer. You won't have this problem. Okay, the next thing is that you need to learn systematically. So what is it? And I'll give you a real example. So what I mean is that you need to focus on grammar, listening, and reading. So not only on grammar, not only on listening, not only on reading. So you need to focus on all these things. And don't miss your lessons. So learn English every day. Learn English every day, okay? So, and I'll give you an example from my life, okay? So when I was learning English very effectively or very hard, I had my own rule. So rule, it means that I had one thing and I always followed it. So it's the following. Yeah, so what I did, yeah, just in present simple, I study with this grammar book. So I studied, yeah, I study with this grammar book, and I do minimum 1 unit a day. So yeah, so the book can contain 100 maybe units, or maybe there are 100 units in one book, and you think, oh, it's a lot, you know, 100 units. When will I have free time to study all these units, to learn all these things? And okay, no, I'll start it later. No, so I did it, you know, 1-2 units every day. So and I studied that book in 30 days. So step by step, And you see, next, I read 2 or 3 chapters a day, or chapters, it can be a book or some text or some conversations, but something which you do regularly. And then, very important thing, I'm actually, some students just read. No, don't just read, you also listen, to them, okay? Important, very important thing. Well, okay, so when I do other things, I listen to English. It's also a part of this system. So when I do other things, I listen to English. So not only learning in the classroom, no, it isn't effective. Just you need to learn when you do other things. If you do something like this every day, it will definitely bear fruit. So it will definitely, or certainly, or of course, so I'm sure it will bear fruit. So bear fruit, it means that you'll have a good result. You'll have a good result, you'll have progress, more and more progress, and you'll be happy and happier, so you will be feeling more and more optimistic. Okay, good. I'll try to do the same. It means that, okay, I'll try to do it. I need to have a plan. Right. I guess you use lots of resources at the same time and not systematically. You really guessed it. Yeah, so really it's a very common problem. So you just want maybe to know some information about present simple and you start looking for it online. So, and you actually find one website and you go to the next, and so it can take very long and without a good result. So it's very, very bad. So, okay. And so choose the most important resources for you. And study, yeah, choose the most important resources for you. So you can't study with 100 websites, no. Okay, very good. What's left? Do more exercises, very important thing, do more exercises. Don't think that you can learn English without them. You are likely to forget everything very fast without them. So likely to forget, it means that I really think that you'll forget, likely to forget. So I really think that you'll forget everything very fast without them. So if you just read maybe about grammar, but if you don't do exercises, it's very difficult, really difficult. And exercises not only for writing, but for speaking too. Next, find a speaking partner. Yeah, it's important, very important. Yeah. So this process of learning English should be, not boring, but interesting and exciting. So have fun and overcome the language barrier. So overcome, okay, the language barrier. Maybe you're afraid of speaking. Yes, it's difficult for you to speak. I understand it can be. So, okay, just practice. So English is not only reading, not only grammar, not only listening, it's speaking too, okay? And you don't need to pay for your lessons, yeah? So, some students think that, okay, yes, I need to find a teacher and I can make good progress only with a teacher. No, why? Why do you think so? Actually, I can tell that from my own life experience, I can tell that I've never taken any private lessons. I have never taken any private lessons, so simply because I didn't have money for it. See, and so it's okay, no problem. Okay, yeah, if you have money, yes, it's good, but if you don't have money, it's okay too. You don't need to pay for these lessons, okay? Okay, so good, I need more tips. No problem, welcome. So when your level gets higher, upper intermediate, so when your level is upper intermediate, listen to native speakers. Listen to native speakers more and more. Not just adapted books, stories or conversation, just real English speech. So listen to different sources, to different things. Listen to the radio, TV, podcasts, videos, and so on. Okay, good. So the last 2 secrets are in the end. Yeah, they are in the end, but don't think they are unimportant. Don't think they're they aren't important at all. Okay. So number 9. Actually, and maybe I need to put it in the first place, but not in the ninth place, in the first place. So you need to have motivation or an aim, to learn fast. If you have it, you'll find time. Yeah, please think about it. So the problem is that we often say, okay, I have no time, or I don't have time, okay, not now, later, tomorrow. Yes, it's because you have maybe motivation, but it isn't strong enough. Yeah, you have a name, but maybe it isn't clear enough, maybe it isn't a big aim and you don't need it. So please think about it. So you need to have motivation or an aim. Yeah, and the last thing, very important thing, my friends, yeah, not just my friend, my friends, watch this channel, English Professionally. Yeah, the channel is very important and which is growing, yeah, with your help and support. Yeah, thanks for your help, thanks for support. And it's the mission of this channel to help you learn English effectively and fast. So not only boring grammar, but effective, good grammar. So lessons on speaking and lessons on how to learn English effectively and fast. It's very important to understand it. Okay, my friends, I'm so happy that I've recorded this information for you, and really I want to thank you for your support, and not only for support, for comments, any comments, positive, negative. So if it's criticism, it's okay to just, I want to improve, I want actually to be a better teacher, coach. And okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everything, my friends. And I'm really lucky that you're watching this video. And so, I'm also thinking, at present, that I'm very lucky. Thinking about, this idea about one thing, that I'm very lucky that I have this opportunity, and I have students like you, and you are the best. So you watched this video till the end, and just I wish you actually to start following these tips, and I wish you good progress, and I hope that you learn English much faster. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. See you. Bye. Hi, my friends. Welcome to the channel English Professionally. And this video is very special. I really hope that you'll support this video, with your likes, shares, and comments. Thanks a lot. And you see, it's about how to learn English during the sleep. Really, it's very important, and we'll be talking about very effective ways, of doing it. Okay, good. Effective and ineffective. So, have you ever wanted to learn English during the sleep? So it means when you sleep. It's my dream. I really want it, but I'm very skeptical about it. So skeptical, it means I don't really think it works. Yeah, it's just a beautiful phrase. How to learn English during the sleep, or when you sleep, or while sleeping, when sleeping. Okay? Okay, to learn English when you sleep. Okay, who told you that? Really, my friends, who told you that? Why are you so sure that it's just a beautiful phrase? So, what's your experience? Well, I don't have free time at all, but I have a great desire to learn English. One day, I felt so depressed. I felt so bad. I was so sad, so unhappy, that I decided to make the videos on this channel, English Professionally, play during the sleep. Yeah, so as you understand, so I chose the videos which are on this channel, English Professionally, and so they were playing all night. Okay, so I went to bed and they were online. Yeah, so they were playing and playing. I expected great progress. So expected means that I thought that I would have great progress. I was very curious to know about it. So curious means I really wanted to know about it. Yeah, I really wanted to check this method. So to check means to see. So this method works or not. So works or doesn't work. Okay. So I know that there is a very good technique how we can learn English while sleeping. Yeah. So really a good technique, or there is a good method while sleeping. So you can say while sleeping or when sleeping, when you sleep, it's okay too, or during the sleep. I just feel that your experience isn't successful, so isn't good, and I really want to know what you did wrongly. So what you did wrongly, okay? So I'll ask you a few questions to make sure that I understand you correctly. To make sure, it means that I want to be sure that they understand all the situation very well, okay? Okay, so when did you go to bed? After midnight. Can you say it more precisely? More precisely or more exactly? So the time, okay? Okay, at 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, at 1 o'clock in the morning, yeah? But you know that you also need to work on your English. So you know that we generally say not in the morning, at 1 o'clock at night, yeah? So just work on your English too, yeah? You need to improve it, okay? Okay, so thanks for understanding. And so the next thing is, how long did you sleep? For 9 hours. For 9 hours, okay, I see. As far as I understand, you got up at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? That's it. It means, yeah, that's true. Okay, I have one more question. Did you wake up during your sleep or not? Did you wake up during your sleep or not? Well, I slept like a baby. So it means that I didn't wake up. So please remember these phrases. Sleep like a baby or sleep like a log. Like a log. So you sleep without waking up. So there was a big noise. There was a big noise in my room because of these videos. Yeah, because of these videos. But it didn't cause. Yeah, sorry. Just if something's wrong, just. Okay, thanks for understanding, because it's difficult to type and think, yeah. But you know that I just want to make sure, yeah, that everything is okay. So, and if you see something is wrong, we correct it. Okay, thanks for understanding. Okay, so really, there was a big noise in my room because of these videos, but it didn't cause any problems. It didn't cause any problems, or it didn't make any problems. It didn't cause or it didn't make any problems. I slept as usual, so usual or normally, so nothing disturbed me. So yeah, okay, I see. There is just one more question about your result. Did you feel it? Frankly, I got up and it was difficult for me to concentrate. I hated that noise and I wanted to turn off the sound immediately. So just turn off, so I didn't want to listen to it immediately. So it means that as soon as possible. And it's what I did, okay? So I turned it off. Did you feel so irritated? So irritated or angry, not satisfied? So maybe I was wrong, but I've got used to having a rest during the sleep. So got used to, it's a nice phrase for speaking. We say used to doing, it means that it's a normal thing for me. It's a normal thing for me, yeah, to have a rest during the sleep and have a clear mind. Have a clear mind when you can think clearly and when you can concentrate in the morning. But it wasn't the case. It wasn't so, okay? It wasn't the case. Okay, I can imagine your great annoyance and irritation. Annoyance, so you were annoyed, and irritation, you were irritated, so you were angry. Okay, so I want to know, did you improve your English? Were you able to remember all these things? So were you able, it's about your ability. So could you remember all these things? Unfortunately not. I was really angry. Do you want to hear my opinion? Of course. I'll tell you what was wrong and what you need to do to learn English effectively while sleeping. I can't wait for it. Please continue. The method which you used doesn't work. It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's ridiculous means it's absurd. So it's absolutely ridiculous. It's really, really absurd. It's a very bad idea, okay, that you'll be sleeping and remembering all these things. Really, it borders on the ridiculous. A nice phrase. So yeah, it's about it. So it's really ridiculous. You need to do it. Yeah, we say you need to do it another way. You need to do it another way. So what is it? There are two possible ways. Please listen. The first one is the following. So if you suffer from insomnia, or your sleep isn't deep, yeah? So insomnia, it means that you can't sleep, yeah? Or your sleep isn't deep, yeah, and you wake up quite often, yeah, this method is really good, yeah. You'll be able to remember many things, yeah. It's one way, but it's not for all people, as you see. But there is the second method, one more, yes, I would say is more advanced. More advanced, it means better or much better, and it's suitable for all people. So all people can do it, really, all people can do it, okay? So what do you mean? The explanation is quite simple. It's when you sleep and see your dreams in English. It's how you can learn English effectively when sleeping. I think it's impossible. I know many people who studied English very intensively during the day, and they managed to achieve it. The most important secret, so they managed to achieve it means they could achieve it, they could do it. The most important secret is that you need to learn English a lot before going to sleep, so you are likely to see your dreams. It means that there is a very big chance that you'll see your dreams in English and learn it, yes, during the sleep. Okay? So you'll be sleeping and your English will be improving at the same time. So very good. So what's your idea? You may think it's very simple. Yeah, I think that really you may think it's very simple. In turn, it means, but I want to tell you this thing, yeah? So I have a question for you. Why didn't you set this aim? I mean, why didn't you set this aim? Why didn't you have this aim to learn English when you sleep? So is the first question. So, yeah, you need to have an aim. And why didn't you do something to achieve this result? Why? So really, why didn't you say, okay, I want to learn English effectively, I have no free time and I want to learn it when I sleep, so I want actually to have dreams in English. And why didn't you do something to achieve this result and good progress? So if you really think it's very simple, just I can answer you, yes, this thing, I can tell you this thing in turn, okay? And you know, I'm very interested in this matter, and I'd also like to hear from you. Please let me know what you think about all this. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. Thanks a lot for your support, and I'm really glad that we have this, great video on our channel, English Professionally, how to learn English during the sleep, yeah? And have a look at our playlists as well.